Alright, welcome back to Phantom X Gaming. We are back in Kerbal Space Program. If you guys remember the last couple live streams, we sent a mission on, or we sent a flight just to test the concept of a rocket. It didn't work very well, and that resulted in that crew being stranded on the Mun. And then we sent a rescue mission to rescue those three. They also got stranded. And then we sent a second rescue crew to rescue the rescue crew that was sent to rescue the other three. It also did not go very well. So in total we have 7 stranded on the Mun and 2 missing. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can actually rescue them. So we have to build a rocket. We have to build something viable. So I was messing around in another save. Is it this one that has it? No, that doesn't have it. That one? No, 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 no. Also no. Is it over here? No. Wait, is this it? No, that can't be it. Load. What does that look like? That looks like a rocket. I don't think that's gonna work. Somewhere in here, we have a rocket that will work. Is that the rocket that will work? Ah, that is the rocket that should work. Let me zoom way in here. And we'll have to make some changes to this. But I have extensively tested this rocket. It does in fact work, but we have to put a little bit more crew ability on here. So we're gonna go ahead and add, yeah, definitely not aliens. They are humanoids of some sort. They're space frogs. That's what they are. They're space frogs. So we're gonna add a couple of these lander cans on here in place of this science pod. So we have 7 total stranded. So we need 1. Wait, is that the right one? Or is that not the right one? I'm gonna say that's probably not the right one. Or is it this one? That holds 2. That holds 1. That holds electric charge. That also holds electric charge. That also holds electric charge. Looks like we're stuck just using these. So 2, 4, 6, and there's 7 total stranded. So we need maybe this one. But this is a very large rocket, so I'm not entirely sure how they're gonna get up there. So I'm thinking, because I am smart and can't figure out the jetpacks for the life of me, we're gonna go ahead and build ladders. A lot of ladders. Helicopter landing pads. Where what? I moved on to a different subject. What are we talking about? Here we go. Ladders. One there. There. And that one doesn't need to leave, so we're gonna go like that. Go like that. And like that. So I need to actually take that out. So what we're gonna do is go like this, pop that out, and go like that. Be a shorter rocket, but it'll still work, I think. My voice is a little quiet. Let's see here. Pay no attention to the mods that I'm running. Is that any better? Hold on. Let me do that. There we go. Yep. Pay no attention to the mods that I'm running. Those don't exist. We don't talk about those. Where are they stranded? They're stranded on the Mun, and they are not in a rocket ship. They are scattered all over the place at this point. We're not going to talk about how that happened. I definitely did not crash. So I'm not entirely sure how we're getting past this, but we're getting past this somehow. So I think if I go to here somewhere, that's a light strip. Can I play around with mobility enhancers? No, I can't. Actually, I wonder. No, I cannot change the size of those either. So there we go. So what does this look like extended? Ah, there's one thing I do need to do. We're gonna go like that, go like that, go like that. You saw nothing. And bring that out a little bit. That should be okay. Still not sure how I'm getting through all this, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. Actually, I have an idea. We're not going to question this. We are definitely not going to question this. So if I put... Let's see here. Scale these down. Whoops. Scale these down. All of the way. Like that. I bet you. If you just accidentally put them somewhere. There's nothing to clip. Put them on the bottom of the engine. Nothing to clip. Hold on. Let's see. Scale that back up. Doing that as a whole. The cement is black. Nah. Not on this world. Definitely not in this world. Cement is green. Have you not seen Kerbals? They're definitely green frogs. Space frogs. What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. Going over here. And somewhere in here is structural. I'm gonna take something like this and stick it right here. I'm gonna do this. This in here and over. It barely exists. And then we're gonna exit out of that menu. There we go. We're gonna stick that there and then resize this down to here. And then I think zoom way in. Probably. Wait, where did I have the ladders? Ladders are over here. Utility. Yeah. Yeah, sure. 10. Whoop. Nope. Definitely not quite the right direction, but actually, hold on. Can I clip this to this? No, I cannot. I cannot do that. I tried. In-game music down. I could probably do that. after I exit the vehicle assembly building. That is really not much of a building, so we're going to put this right here and see what happens. I'm sure I can make something like this work. So we're just going to go over to here real quick. Eventually it will load. There is definitely a lot going on. Let's see here. There we go. That should be okay-ish, possibly. We'll find out. So I did find a mod. It is a Black Racks mod. It is volumetric clouds and various other enhancements of the in-game graphics. So come on, let me up there. So I have that installed. It actually looks pretty cool. So we're going to see that as we take off. And we are off in this very complicated rocket with crew pods that are the size of a dinner plate. What kind of aliens? They are space frogs. They're humanoid frog people. Alright, so I have learned from my mistakes mostly. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. Right about there. I'm going to fold it there. I'm using the engine thrusters to, yeah, wow. I'm using the engines to turn the rocket rather than RCS, just so I don't burn through all of my monopropellant. I only have 3,500 to work with, so the less I have to use it, the better for a flight like this. So I think we are in a good place. Change that to that because we'll be basically over land eventually. So we are breaking through the atmosphere, the thickest part of the atmosphere mostly. We are now at orbital levels. I would definitely not want to be orbiting at this level, especially if you're someone that does not like high temperatures, because as you can see, there's a lot of flames coming off of this. I think if I go out here, we are starting to loop around, and I gotta change this to here. There we go, that's slightly better. And I'm purposely letting this ride out just a little bit, just so I can have an orbital level of right here. No, I'd say right here. I'm going to change that to circular orbit. And I'm going to fast forward to the point of orbit. And changed over to the maneuver node. That looks like it's really high. I feel like I'm gonna fall. Alright, so we are 1 minute from burn. Burn time is 26 seconds. However, I still have some red right here. That's okay. We are primarily running electric engines for this particular mission. Because I definitely did not learn from my mistakes last time. And so I'm going to continue with the electric engines. I did use liquid fuel to get off of Kerbin. And just to kind of save on the battery power, I only have 225,000 electric power. Although I could just, send out my solar panels and fix that. And I do have some science I can run. Not that I really need it. I have a fully unlocked tech tree. But we also have parachutes on just this section, so we're going to need the electric engines to get back. I did not think that through. I don't have enough parachutes to get this down safely. Ah, we have reached our burn time. Alright, that brings us to about there. We are in circular orbit above Kerbin. Almost 5 million meters above Kerbin. If anyone uses the metric system, let me know what 5 million meters is in kilometers, and then convert that to miles. So in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, we need to set this as the target. So I think if I bring, let's see here, I should be passing, meaning I should be able to add a maneuver node here to be able to bring this out. And make an intercept with the mun. There it is. So it looks like at some point we will definitely be interacting with the mun. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here, warp to the burn time. Alright, so a minute 20 seconds out. This is the moment of truth on this one, because I'm running out of Kerbals to hire. They're just not applying for the astronaut jobs. I'm not entirely sure why. Only 7 of them are stranded on the mun. There is the mun. We're going to go into an orbit around the mun. And then we're going to see if we can intercept where the other 3 missions have crashed. And then we should be okay. So I almost feel like I should start my burn now. And hopefully I don't screw this up. I know I have a history of that. But this is going to be a good one. We're definitely going to rescue them eventually. And there we go. We have an interaction, sort of. I don't like that. Really don't like how that's tilted. I did not start off that way. But somehow it happened. So we're going to work with it. So where am I in this? Get rid of that. I am right there. We'll be over there. So I think I'm not far enough ahead. Let's see if we can make another maneuver. Bring it over this way more. So I'm a little bit further ahead of it. Looks like I'll still have an interaction. I'll still get pulled in by bring this up a little bit. Bring it down a little bit. Yeah, a little bit, but not quite where we want to be. But sure, let's burn over to there. And adjust to the maneuver. close enough to burn. Burn too much. That's okay. We'll be okay, I think. Let me know in the comments. Do you think I'll get this first try, or do you think I'm gonna have to try a couple times in order to get it? Because I think we are definitely gonna get this. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It always helps. Kind of push this out there. The more people are talking in chat and hitting that like button, the more YouTube pays attention to it. The more YouTube pays attention to it, the more likely I am to stay alive longer. So I think we're still going to be way too low. So let's see what this does as we get closer. Because I think we're going to be way too low for it. But there's no turning back. I speed this up just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Oh, it slowed me down on its own because I do believe we are within the Mun's gravity. Yeah. So it's going to slingshot me, so I'm going to put a maneuver node right here and try to bring this around to here, and then add a maneuver here to bring it around to here, and then another one right here to bring it around like this. None of that's going to work. None of it is gonna work. So I think if I swing around this way, I can slow down. Oh, I'm sped up still. How about I slow down? Spin around to here. Bring that around. I think I screwed that one up. Spin it around. We're gonna get this. Whether it's first try or not, I have no idea, but we're gonna try. So now I'm gonna speed up just a little bit. See if that comes back. Yes, it does. Grab it while it's there. It's barely there. Spin around to here. I think I can sort of get this. So I'm going to have to circle around once, it looks like, in order to get pulled in. Once, maybe 3 or 4 times. So let's go ahead and speed up time and see what happens with that. All of my space debris orbiting the planet, and no way to get that out of there. So it slowed me down because I'm back into the moon's gravity well, wherever that is. Oh, there it is, way over there. Really not that far away. So let's go ahead and speed up again. I should, in theory, slow down. Maybe not so much. Just enough to figure out why I'm not. What am I doing? Oh, I'm getting slingshotted way out. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Okay, never mind. I don't know how to pay attention. I mean, I do, but too fast, way too fast. I know how to pay attention. It's whether I pay attention to paying attention, or I, don't pay attention to the paying attention about paying attention. I'll let that sit in for a while. While we figure out if we are going to get enough contact here. I wonder if I put a maneuver node here to bring this out, will this do something? No, not even close. Let's get rid of that. And let's try right here. Add maneuver. Wrong direction. Because if I get really close, like really close. Oh, it just changed. Oh, I'm gonna crash is what's gonna happen. So, should we bring that back? Let's get rid of that and add maneuver. Let's make it round. That's a heck of a burn. But we will at least get in there. Actually, what if I were to add a maneuver here to round out? Yeah, it would just drop me into... Nah, we'll do this. This seems to be the better thing to do. I'm gonna switch around to where we need to face for that. I'd say I'm not entirely sure. Let me get a proper orbit around the Mun, and then I will check on Elon and see if he's okay, because I can go down to the Space Center, but I gotta get this right the first time, so I can be right about that the first time. Being right the first time about being right the first time. I'm gonna let that one go. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and burn over to the maneuver node, and hopefully stay pointing in the right direction. I don't know where the moon is. Oh, there it is. It's definitely right there. 1 minute out from doing that burn. So the original mission was the test mission that ended up somehow on the Mun. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but it did. Then I sent a rescue mission to rescue them, but they crashed. So then I sent another rescue mission to rescue them, and they also crashed. Now this is the rescue mission to rescue the rescue mission that was there to rescue the rescue mission that was there to rescue Jeb and his crew. Now, that is a mouthful. Oh, by the way, how you doing, Cam? Nice to see you back. Alright, we're 12 seconds out. I'm going to go ahead and perform this burn and see what happens with this. And in theory, we should have circular orbit around the Mun. There we go. Now, why is that way over there? That is not where I left that. That is definitely not where I left that. I left all of them crashed in the same place, right here. I guess we're gonna have to go to the tracking station and figure out what's going on over there. So, let us jump out of the map and head down to the Space Center and see what is going on. We are not going to pay any attention to all of the space debris. Candace is on the Mun, not in any pod. Yeah, the aliens are stealing the space debris. Well, I mean, it's raw material. Zoom in here and figure out what this is. That is that. So I think that is just junk. So we're going to go ahead and terminate that. And And then I think this is also junk, so we'll terminate that. We're gonna clean up space. May as well do good things. And there's that. And that. Now, if I were... He was a very large part of the last mission. And he is stranded outside of any form of protection, so we gotta definitely rescue him. I'm just cleaning up some of this space debris real quick so I can figure out what is what. That is way over there in Kerbin orbit. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. It won't let me get rid of that, but I can fly it. Wait, I can fly the debris? Hold on. We're safely in orbit around the moon, so we're gonna go ahead and see what debris I can fly. What is this? Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, there's that. It's just dancing around over here. Yeah. I don't remember what that was from. We'll go ahead and recover that. Because it lets me. And then we'll go back to the tracking station and see what we can do. Oh, you're trying to make rings of debris and satellites around Kerbin? Yeah, and I'd like to keep it relatively clean because I can definitely screw things up on my own without the help of debris. There's another one we can fly, so we'll take care of those. Oh, I can just hit recover from here, can't I? Let's do the smart thing. Yeah, I can definitely cause my own problems, for sure. So I don't need the debris to help me in that. So apparently a lot of stuff survived when it went back into the atmosphere. I'm not entirely sure how that happens. It's supposed to burn up, or at the very least be completely destroyed. So those are our three space pods, landing pods. Well, what's left of them. So I think we should be able to go check on them to make sure everyone's actually okay. It has been many years they have been stuck on the Mun. You burned up in Jewel from a joke rocket? Yeah, I mean, I ended up at the Mun on accident on the first live I did on this. So we are now in orbit on that one, so there's that one. Yeah, it was accidentally ending up in orbit of the Mun that started this whole thing. Surviving off of Mun rocks in their own rocket? Yeah, pretty much. So we're gonna go ahead and check in and see if everyone is still there. Now I did uninstall a very modest quantity of mods. Are there any Kerbals here? I don't see anyone. Very little electric charge left. So I don't see any Kerbals here. What's this over here? Ah, there they are. They're right here. It won't let me click on it now. If I go over here. Do that. No? What's this? Over here. Right over there. Nothing. So I did see names, so I do know that they are in there. I can switch to it in the map. Sort of. Kind of. So I can kind of, sort of do it in most cases, but in this particular case, the targeted pod is that one that was off to the side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna send Jebediah on EVA, or EVA, there we go. And we're gonna keep him out here just so I can kind of see, in theory, where everyone is if I target him. So I can jump. Still haven't figured out the jetpacks. Otherwise, I would have them all together by now. Yeah, so I can sort of switch to them, but it keeps targeting that other landing part. See, so it targets this. There's no one in there, but everyone is in there. But it won't let me target that. So I can see that. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Let's go ahead and EVA with that one. No. Transfer crew. Yeah, I can't make him go out. That's not what I was trying. Cancel that. Click on that. EVA hatches obstructed. Ah. So I'm gonna have to bring an engineer over here. Their patience makes you jealous? Yeah. Yeah, they put up with kind of a lot, especially from me. Definitely from me. Yeah, I can't transfer them either, so they are entirely trapped. I'm gonna try to bring an engineer up here to open that up, because they are trapped entirely. So there's that. So if I set to target and then switch to here, I should... this is the original. I should be able to see him somewhere. But I can't. I jump way up. Still can't figure out the jetpacks. I know he has them. No. Nope. And belly flop. R for jetpacks. Ah. I'm swimming. Am I supposed to hold R? Come on, get up. Shift to go up. Okay. Ah. Perfect. So now, hopefully, I can see where everyone is. I cannot see where anyone is. I'm curious as to how much jetpack fuel I have. Thank you for that, Cam. So while I'm up in the air, doing crazy things. On that one. Set target. No. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, no. Exit the map. Why can I not see where he is? He's gotta be around somewhere. I wonder. If I picked a random crater, like this double crater right here seems like a very distinct spot. So if I bring everyone to here, this is gonna take a while. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm gonna bring 1 or 2 here, and then I should be able to go from there. And hopefully, rescue them. Oh wait, I'm supposed to slow down? Trying. Forgot about that part. Go up, go up, go up. No. Oh. Well, let's check on the others. We'll check on Jeb. No, there's moon dust where I impacted the ground. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to the tracking station. We're going to go ahead and jump over to Jeb. And we're going to go see what we can do here. Because nothing happened. Camdus will be perfectly fine in like 100 hours. So somewhere around here is that double crater, which is right there. I'm gonna go over here. I think this is the double crater. Yeah, this is the double crater. The crater within the crater. Yeah, tell mission control you fell asleep. That's pretty much that was definitely the plan. I had nothing to do with it. So this time we're gonna slow down. We're going to try to slow down and take this really, really carefully. Very carefully. And maybe we can land carefully. Yeah, he is. He's very excited to be up in the air and not sitting on a rock. He appreciated landing on the moon, but I don't think he really wants to be there anymore. So we're gonna, come Come on, slow down, slow down. Takes a while to slow down with the jetpacks. Oh, going back up. And we landed. Sort of. Jebediah is still alive. So we're going to leave him here. We're going to jump back over to here. And that is a good crater to put everyone in. So now we have Bill going out on EVA. Falling on his face. And as soon as he gets up, there we go. We're going to go ahead and find that crater again. It shouldn't be that far away. Where did it go? Not over there. No, it's this one right here, I think. Yeah, this is the crater. So if I can get most of the survivors over here, we should be good. And there we go. Oh wait, did I not put Jebediah in here? Is this the same crater? Yeah, this is the same crater. So in theory, he should be around here somewhere. And in theory, I should be able to slow down. It would be good to slow down. It would be very good to slow down. Is that a rock cluster? Whoop, going back up. Yeah, I think it was just about at this shadow, but the shadow probably moved in the past 3 minutes. Oh, going back up again. Oh, still going back up. Come on. I am not quite paying as much attention as I should. There we go. And just like that, we are down. Map. Yeah, so they're both in there somewhere. I'm gonna jump back over to here. And we're going to take Bob out on EVA. And head up the ridge line. Pull up, pull up, pull up. There we go. He was not going up high enough. There we go. And if I have played my cards correctly, which I rarely do, the other two should be just over there, right about in line with where he's currently facing. So we're trying to slow down. Definitely trying to slow down. I almost should have brought up a space base and just have them exist up here. Yeah, he did. Saw his life flash before his eyes and it was all stars. Well, didn't go far enough over. Let's try right around here. I can slow down. Slow down. Come on. And they are all on the ground. There, we have 3 of them over here. I don't know exactly where those others are, but they're in the same crater anyways. We'll start with that much. And then I think for these guys... Oh, this is this one. So I think if I go to the Space Center, I can get rid of this small one. And then we don't have to worry about that anymore. So those 3 are in a crater. That's in orbit. This one, I believe, is the bad one. So we're going to terminate that one. And then this one, that's orbiting, that's landed. That's also landed. Wait, that's that one. That's the one they just came out of. So I can terminate this one. Now we're left with just this one and the orbiting one. We go over here. We should, in theory, be left with just them. Perfect. I was kind of fearing for what was going to happen with that. Alright, we finally got them on EVA. So now I can rescue 6 of them. Yeah, I'm getting very close. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. And we're just going to jump off here. I need to go up. I said we need to go up. There we go. And find where that crater is. I think it's that one over there. No. Was it this one over here? There are a lot of craters to try to figure out. I think it's this one over here. Valentina is happy to be out of that pod that they were trapped in. I'm glad that I was able to get them out without having to bring an engineer up here, because that would have required another flight. Now, the only real question associated with what I'm doing now is modifying the size of the crew pods if they're still actually going to be able to get in them. I'm not sure. I may have to revert that flight and make them bigger and then put them on top now that I remember how to use the jetpacks, thanks to Cam. So now we should be coming down slowly, very slowly. Not quite there yet, but getting close to the ground would be a good idea, just so I don't repeat Camden's adventure. I know I said we weren't going to talk about that one, but we're trying to learn from mistakes, not repeat the same mistakes I keep making and not learning from. It's a very slow but also very rapid descent. You don't want Valentina to hit the ground hard. I don't think Kerbals bounce very well. Yeah, Camdus is fine. Just playing in the dirt. Just playing in the moon dirt. That's all. Yeah, it would have been really good for me to just focus on one group of rocks and then just bring everyone to that one group of rocks. I'm not slowing down as much as I should be. I'm not slowing down. Go up, go up. Oh, hi, Jeb. That was close. I think I found Jebediah. Let's go over here and see if that is, in fact, Jebediah over on these rocks. Somewhere. I thought I saw a Kerbal. That's okay. We'll just put... There we go. Haha, I win. Next. Yeah, he did. At Mach 50. Alright, now we have Loing. Are we on EVA? Yeah, we are. And flop. Jump and jetpack. And find hill. I don't think it's that one. I think it's... I had the right one. This one. There we go. So we have 3 Kerbals. Is it 3? Yes, 3 Kerbals. No, 4 Kerbals. Is it 3 or 4? Help me out, Cam. How many did I kill? There are several of them sitting in this crater. I am very happy I didn't have to do another mission and bring an engineer up here to let these guys out. Yeah, I think it's 3, because 2 went missing on the last technical rescue mission that now also needs rescue. And then Camdis went belly flopping in the mun dust. So that'd be an entire crew missing currently. We have 12 Kerbals in space associated with the mun. 3 of them are orbiting. Or no, actually strike that. There's only 1 orbiting. I only brought 1. I did a smart thing. Yeah, this is the rescue mission of the rescue mission that was sent to rescue the rescue mission that also was sent to rescue the rescue mission that was sent to rescue Jebediah and his crew. So I am currently getting all of the Kerbals into one single crater, and then I will send the ship down to rescue them. Yes, that is a massive tongue twister. That took a lot of effort. I need a lot more caffeine now. Yeah, so we are rescuing, like, I think 2 or 3 different rescue missions at this point. But I did the smart thing, and I ran a bunch of tests, and I got a ship working that actually works properly. And I don't remember what happened the last time I over-caffeinated myself. I don't want to know. And see, for my full-time real job, I train horses. I work with rescues and things like that. I kind of specialize in the rescue horses, the off-the-track horses, and wild horses. So by the end of a day, and we have landing with Loing. I have no idea where the rest of the crew is. That's okay. So by the end of a day, I am very tired. So in order for me to be able to do these lives, I need a lot more caffeine involved in my existence. Also, Lev, I know for a fact you don't like horses, otherwise you wouldn't also be working at the ranch I also work at. Alright. Raise bees next. And that is the final Kerbal. It is the final humanoid space frog to be rescued from all of the... Oh, I forgot to hit that button. There we go. Do I get to ride them? It depends on the horses. So at the ranch, I do ride and also drive wagons. Why am I spinning all around? Why am I facing that way? Something happened. No, 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 no. Oh, okay, this one bounces. The look on their face. That was interesting. Are you gonna get up? There we go. Oh, I am hitting all of the wrong buttons. That's why that happened. And there we go. And we are off to the crater that will eventually, hopefully, rescue everyone. So at the ranch, I drive wagons, do wagon rides, pairs of horses at a time, and also ride. With the horses that I train, however, not all of them are at the point where they can be ridden. A lot of them are incredibly violent and aggressive towards humans, so I have to kind of work them through there and help them through their trauma, whatever the cause. In a lot of cases, I have to figure out what caused them to be that way, and then try to address it from there. Yeah, he's still smiling after hitting all of the rocks at full speed, like 37 meters per second. I thought he was done. I did not think he was going to survive that, and he's just bouncing around. However, the look on his face when he got back up, that was funny. Yeah, so eventually, a very long period of time, in most cases down the road, I do get to the point where I do saddle work with them, and I can train them to ride. And that in itself takes a significant amount of time to work through. I barely made it over that. That was about as close as I could get. Take care, Pass. Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. for you over there. Alright, we are coming in for a landing with the final Kerbal. Kirby? And hopefully we can get that other yeah, it's also 9 p.m. for me as well. Yeah, so we have people from all over the globe that that hang out with us in Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord server, hang out with us outside of the stream. It's at the top of my channel. You should be able to click the link, fill out the application, give me a funny answer for the question, and we'll get you in there. You can hang out with us, play games with us, and yeah, there's that. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe. That's important for YouTube to be able to push this out. The more people like it and chat, the more YouTube decides that it's actually worth putting out there and letting other people see. So it definitely helps to hit the like, definitely helps to subscribe, and it definitely helps that I don't bounce all over the ground. Yes, the second time I bounced this one. I don't think this one's gonna trust me anymore. Can I see anyone? Where is everyone? I guess they're around. If I land way over there, there's no way I can miss it. Ow. Okay, we're gonna leave this one alone now. And we're gonna jump back over to the... Actually, we're gonna go to the Space Center and get rid of that other pod so we can get rid of the last of the evidence that I crashed 3 separate missions on the moon. Yeah, he's having it rough, alright. I'm just throwing them all over the place. Alright, so this is the one that's in orbit. This is the one that's landed. We're gonna terminate that one. Alright, so I have everyone in a crater. So now, if I switch over to this one, I will very carefully unset target. Over here and set target. So I want to bring my orbit down a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and switch to retrograde. Hey, yeah. Make them think we did it in one go. Yeah, so we're in retro. I think we are roughly lined up, kinda, sorta. We're gonna pretend we are, and I can adjust from there. But I want to burn a little bit down to here. And then right here, I'm going to add a maneuver to get orbit again. We're going to burn over to that. And switch over to the maneuver. How much power do we have? Okay, we have plenty of power because we are charging while we're doing this. And there is Kerbin. 1 million miles away. And somewhere around here is the dark side of the moon. Yeah, that is very dark. So we are at our burn. So if I wait till like maybe 15 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. We'll go ahead and burn. Oh, that was not much of a burn. Okay, we're slightly lower than I anticipated. We're gonna pretend that was on purpose. Hollow Pond is confident. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm confident. Yeah, he's currently blocked by a bunch of stuff. I think there's a solar panel in his window, so we can't actually see him. So there's that. I forgot to move the solar panels out of the way. I noticed that when I was doing my testing. That it was blocking it, but never did anything about it. So I think we are still in relative line. Yeah, we should be okay-ish. So if I bring this down just a little bit more. Alien cats, yeah, I agree. So bring that down just a tiny little bit more. Right there. And then warp to here. Yeah, so we have the all of the visual mods associated with Black Rack's volumetric clouds. It is definitely a lot of fun. However, I had to figure out in my settings why I'm getting weird motions like that. It's kind of annoying. It's probably something on my end that I can fix for sure, but have not. So we're gonna bring that down so I land right there. I think that's roughly where I want to land, right? Which way is the mun going? I guess we'll find out when I pretend to warp to the node and forget to switch over to the maneuver node, which is right there. And then prematurely start the burn. The motion blur, yeah. So after I successfully land this, we'll check that out. I shouldn't have any motion blur on. Very close and slow it down. There we go. So I think that is about where we need to be based on the fact that the mun is moving in weird ways. I'm not going to talk about that. So now, swing this around retro. I don't have a whole lot of liquid fuel left, but that is okay. And parachutes aren't going to do me a whole lot of good, so there is that. I should definitely, probably, possibly put the landing gear out. Just so I don't accidentally not land. That's actually not enough parachutes. For this craft, the way it was previously built with the ability to self-fuel for the liquid fuels, it only slowed it down to about 20 meters per second in carbon atmosphere. So I actually needed all of the thrust to slow down, and then I still needed thrust to slow down enough to be able to land. And the reason there are so many landing legs is because it actually it actually needs it because it's just so heavy. So we are slowly coming down, I think, in theory. Let's go ahead and warp to here. And we are speeding up a little bit. So I think that's actually going to put us... not going to put us far enough over. We're actually going that way, so we need to... swing around here. And elevate. Too much elevation. Swing around. And burn. Bring that line back. And we are getting very close. Very, very close. Close enough. That should put us roughly in the right place. So there is the crater right there. That is where we're looking to get. So we are still speeding up, but I should be able to fix that soon. I just don't want to undershoot it, because we saw what happened last time I tried to find the other spacecrafts. So let's see here. So speeding up. We're like right there. This is the moment of truth. Are we going to make it? Are we going to land? Am I going to the right place? I need to slow down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know where I'm landing, so they better be out of the way. And I really hope that I can get them into this modified landing, or crew cab that I shrunk down to way too small. I'm hoping it works. I mean, if I land on the ridge, I guess that's okay. Oh, bad things. RCS on. Why? How do we do that? Why is this doing this? Why are we doing this? Okay, I can live with this. I can pull him back out of the crater. I'm just not entirely sure why we're spinning around like that. That was very close. Why are we moving? We should not be moving. Sideways, I mean. We should not be moving sideways. And now I'm going back up. And now I'm moving sideways. Nope, wrong one. There we go. Fix it. Fix it. Fix my mistake. Coming in too quick. Way too quick. There we go. And no. Almost. I can work with this distance. I know where it is. I can work with it wherever it lands, but we need to land. Definitely need to land first. Come on. We're almost there. We're going downhill. Why are we going downhill? And we have... Nope, we are taking off again. Let us try that again. Swing this around to here, and swing this over to here. Swing it around a little bit more. There we go. Now it looks like it's burning in the right direction-ish. Yeah, we definitely were not going in the right direction, so I had to fix that. Oops. Pay no attention to the mods that I use. Alright, spin me around normal. What is normal? That's normal? That's not normal. How about we bring it around retro? We're floating around with a decent amount of monopropellant, but still not going to be enough if I don't land this carefully. Very carefully. Now we're going in a better direction. We're going uphill, so... Yeah, so I started off having it retrograde, and then it decided that retrograde wasn't good enough and started spinning it. And then I started messing around with it in panic, and bad things happened, and this is about where we are now. I can get away with about 8 meters per second on touchdown and not have it really do a whole lot. But the problem is everything is downhill on the Mun. Everything is downhill. And we bounced. So I need to spin this around. Apparently the other way. Okay, everything is not working correctly. So let's get up here. Let's go. That's over there, so I need to go this way to spin it this way. We'll get this. Oh, see, the problem is mostly that none of this is facing in the direction I need it to face in order for me to be hitting the right buttons for it. So that's why I'm just making these adjustments now. And just kind of hoping that all of this actually works correctly this time, because now I'm really far away from that crater. I'm just gonna go back up a ways. There we go. Now we're facing the correct directions. I don't care where I land as long as I land on the ground the right way. The problem is everything on the outside of the crater is downhill, so it makes it a little complicated. So I'm going to try to get into the crater this time. And maybe if I'm lucky... Why am I facing downward with that? There we go. Alright, we're starting to look a little bit better. Sort of. Still feel like that's pointing me downward. But that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and point retro and see where we are. Okay, that's where we are. I mean, I suppose I could do a maneuver node and maneuver myself. So retro is facing the opposite direction of which you are traveling. And then you have prograde, which is the direction you are traveling. So now I'm going to manually control this because none of the autopilot systems seem to want to, you know, do me any justice. I'm just going to try to casually make my way into the crater. Alright, there we go. So now if I go retro, that will bring me in the direction that, or facing the opposite direction of which I'm traveling. I'm getting very close, but still yet so far away. But we will definitely rescue them. We are making progress. We are closer to rescuing them than we have been the past 3 times we tried to rescue them. 2 or 3 times. So, if I take this really carefully and really slowly, as long as I don't breathe, nothing could go wrong. Oh, and the RCS is doing bad things again. Why is it doing bad things? Almost. Every time I get really close to the ground, the RCS just starts shooting off everywhere and throwing the rocket all around, which I find very frustrating. But if I turn it off, there's not a whole lot controlling it, so... You know what? Let's see what happens if I turn it off. I mean, the worst that can happen is nothing less than what it's already doing. Like seeing gold in the coal mine, yeah. Yeah, they're finally seeing their official rescue that may not be official if I can't get them into those crew cabs. $300 meters. Space frogs. We're getting there. Almost there. Come on. Almost. We are tethered to the ground. We have officially landed on the Mun. And now, we can see if we can rescue the Kerbals that are all right here. So we're gonna go ahead and switch to this one. I don't know who it is, but you can see the spacecraft off in the distance. Yeah. to that button. There we go. Now we're not gonna rush over there. We're gonna do this very carefully so we don't, you know, of course, Sticky Keys fights me. Windows in there thinking they're helping. Well, fortunately, we have the one that's really bouncy. They're gonna miss their pet rocks, yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and jump up and try this again. Now, looking at that rocket from over here, after spending so much time trying to rescue the rescue missions that were rescuing other rescue missions, I'm not entirely sure where I was going with that. Yeah, this is going smoother than the last time, but don't jinx me on that one, because there's still a lot that can go wrong. I still don't even know if they can get into these crew cabs. I don't remember where they even are. Oh, there's a rock there. Alright, where... Oh, okay. That's a good way to go circling around to see. This one's very klutzy. There it is. And a little front flip there as he flops over again. And he is very floppy. So let's see if we can grab onto this ladder and have them get into these overly small crew cabs. I hope so. Oh, I missed. Let's try that again. Quick little face slide. Alright, let's see here. Up and over and up and crash. And up again and grab. I said grab. Okay. Did you run out of jetpack fuel? You ran out of jetpack fuel. Okay. He's doing all sorts of gymnastics, but he just ran out of jetpack fuel, meaning I'm gonna have to stand on this rock and then jump up and hope I can grab that. I'm not entirely sure if he can, but we're gonna try, because that's about all we have for him to be able to rescue him. Otherwise, he is going to be a permanent Martian. Jump. We have to be a little bit closer, I think. We're gonna do a backflip, okay. So I think right here, maybe? If I jump straight up. Not quite there. Come on. A little closer. What about right here? Jump and... No, not quite. So I'm gonna have to bring another Kerbin over and have him stand on his head. I'll make a ladder of Kerbals. So I'm gonna bounce over to... Why do I have two selected here? Am I controlling both at once? Where is the lander? There it is. It'd be good if I had a way to really tell how much I have left for the jetpacks. It'd be good if I maybe thought ahead and brought extra fuel. But I also didn't expect to strand them. So there's that. You know what? You're right. I could do that. I could lower it to the ground and that will bring the ladder close enough to grab. That is true. And I ran out of jetpack fuel. So they all had just enough jetpack fuel to get into this crater, but not quite enough to actually get over to the lander. But I'm also not going to move it either. I'm going to do a little 360 there. Because it took enough effort to get that lander landed and not crashed-ed like the last three. Come on, get me around this rock. There we go. Okay, jumping I thought was going to help me here, but it's really not. So I am doing this the old-fashioned way. We're going to skip our way over. So while we are casually meandering our way over here and flopping around, what do you guys think about continuing this series and doing some more missions of various sorts? Should we continue with KSP or should we do other games as well for the live streams? Keeping in mind I do a live every Friday and Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, and a video releases every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That landing gear over there is doing some weird things. You think a mixture of different games? Alright, so there's two. Go over here. Ah, so Bob Kerman is right there. Valentina's right there. And Jeb's probably hiding under a rock somewhere because he's responsible for this whole thing. How much fuel do I have left? Inventory. Not a whole lot. I Slow down. Slow down. Slow way down. Wait, and I ran out. Oof. That was one heck of an impact. Am I gonna survive this? Yeah, I survived this. Well, Valentina survived this. There, we're just gonna casually run right over here because none of them have enough jet fuel to actually make it up there. I have no idea if they can even get in there, but at least they'll all be in one place. Alright, there's Valentina. Switch to Bob. There's really nothing that tells me. Yeah, I'm out 2.9 out of 5. And up we go. So we know that they can survive at like 30 meters a second hitting the ground. There again, the other one that we won't talk about hit the ground at like 300 meters a second, so. So I think I might get lucky and have enough fuel to get this one up there to even see if we can get them in there. And falling. Oh. Alright, let's see here. That landing gear is still doing weird things. I better not get near that. Yeah, you might have enough to get up there if I do it correctly. And if we know anything about how I do things, there's not a whole lot of correctly involved. Got it. Oh, lost it. Alright, so if we stand right behind this one, right there, and hit this, and grab, haha, and go down a little bit. I hit the wrong button. Come on, get up. Oops. I think I ran out. Yeah, I ran out of jet fuel, or jetpack fuel. However, I did discover something. Yeah. Yeah, they don't grab very well. Climb. Sure, why not? We'll do this. Switch to. Where are you? That one. Oh, and you're falling. Very slowly falling. Alright. that didn't work. Now we're just gonna go get Bill. He's right there. Somewhere around here is Jebediah. Jump and jetpack. Very dramatically falling, yeah. So the idea behind this little stunt that I'm doing is to land on the landing gear because the ladder is offset to the side, so I'd have to jump off anyways. So I may have kind of shot myself in the foot on this one. But I'm not entirely sure they can actually get into that in the first place. So we may have to build a proper rocket with the proper endeavors on it. I don't have a fabricator, so I can't just fabricate something to work. Come on, get up. Walk over. Here, and then jump, and jet, and over, and grab. I said grab. Grab something. Anything. Anything will do. And landed on his head. That's why he wasn't listening. He's got brain damage. Let's try that again. Up. Jet. And I'm out of jetpack fuel. Alright, so you just lay there and figure yourself out. Jebediah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, that was not Jebediah. Switch. There we go. There he is, hiding behind a rock. Where's the lander? Way over there. And jumped and jet. I'm gonna go way up on this one, so I don't have to use it again. And while we're waiting for that, we're gonna go. Yeah, let's get an EVA report from the air. 1.9. I think that's what it is. Propellant. Yeah, 1.9. And bring that up. And slow down. Definitely slow down. Close enough. Bounce. And then eventually get back up. And let's jump and propel. Trying not to use all of the fuel. I'll actually just walk from here. Because I definitely want to just... I want to try to get someone in one of those pods. If I can. Jebediah is not exactly the brightest when it comes to walking. Would I become a Kerbonaut or a normal astronaut? Oh, definitely a Kerbonaut. I mean, their entire existence is about being in space and rockets and other planets. Yeah, they have a small population and all of them are centered around working in spacecraft facilities, so... I mean, I trust them more than I trust another human, that's for sure. Haha, I'm on top. Wait a sec. Oh. You know what? I wonder. I wonder. I can't switch while on the ladder. Oh. I was just gonna have all of them grab on. And just hope for the best. But they won't let me, I can't switch to a different vessel while someone's on a ladder. So that will not work. I was hoping to do something stupid. They, in fact, cannot get into these. Open door. Wait. Cannot board a full module. Apparently a Kerbal is more than 40 liters. So don't no. Oh. Haven't made it yet. Can I grab onto this? Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna do something incredibly unintelligent. Leave Jebediah here, go over here. Switch to... No, wrong one. Let's go back to the Space Center to switch to the spacecraft. And I'm gonna lower it to the ground. And crash the game. Well, there's that. We've done this before. So let's go ahead and do that again. Yeah, spoiling all of my plans. So in theory, at some point, there it is. So we're going to see how far we got before it crashed out on us. Not entirely sure how much of that was saved. I did see an autosave involved there somewhere. I just don't remember who it was I was getting. So I guess we're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to hope for the best, but it is what it is. You know, I am playing modded. So, there are things bound to happen. You know, I fully expect crashes. I expect things to happen. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's the risk you take when you're playing a modded game. So we're going to switch to here and see who is actually over there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, so they are all over here. And just double check to be sure. Yeah, they're all over here. So now, if I lower this landing gear... Ah! Haha! Nothing has happened. So... in theory... possibly... I'm gonna open all the doors. And it won't let me switch to them without going to the map. That's slightly annoying, but that's okay. Now jump so I know who you are. Now climb on the back of your friend. And jump. Oh. And land on his head. Climb. I said climb. There we go. Now, jump. So I can reach it. They just need to be lined up better. Oh, bowling. Climb. Climb. Jump. Oh. You are directly under. So you go right here. Right there. Now we go over here. And of course we can't pick anyone different without first going back to the Space Center. Out of the map. The right button for that. So we need to go back to the Space Center. Hopefully not crash the game again. Let the world load in this time. Yeah, they're definitely going with the flow, alright. So we're gonna switch over to this Kerbal. Yeah, I am doing the best I can to rescue them, so I don't want to hear them complaining. Alright, jump so I know who you are. Ah, you're the one that's directly under it. Got it. So now, you come over here, you climb on him, climb, now jump, grab, do something, no, bowling. I am not getting a whole lot of progress with this. Try this. Jump. Still not close enough. So I may need to get another rocket up here to do something about this. Jump. Wait a second, hold on. I might, if I get up carefully, over here, over to here, no, too far, over to here, go face this way, over here, very carefully, climb, let's climb, now walk carefully to here, jump, nope. So I may have to send another rescue mission. Because I can't get them into these lander cans that I have shrunk just for the sake of not having the rocket tip slightly. Definitely should have thought that one through a little better. And no one can fit in here. There's only room for one. It's just a modified size. It's increased in scale. So I wonder if I can come over here. Let's see, to here, jump, grab, climb. Climb out. No, grab. There we go. Oh, grab. Grab. Stop letting go. Yeah, I got really close with this one, but I'm giving it a last little bit of effort here to try to get them. No, jump. Can you jump? No, come on. There we go. Oh, and I broke it. How did that happen? Loing seems to be a little bit of a problem for me. Grab something. Thank you. No, grab. Climb out. There we go. Board. Cannot board a full module. It isn't full. It's just board. Yeah, so it will not let me get them on. And apparently Lloyd broke the vessel. Not entirely sure how. But, there's that, I guess. We're gonna leave this ship here. In fact, we're gonna switch back to it. Oh, it's gonna... Okay. We're gonna put the landing gear out. Oh, alright. So I'm gonna have to go back to the Space Center. Because the part that Kerbal broke is now registering as the ship. So there's this lander pod. Terminate. Switch back to this. Now it should actually be the... Yeah, so the jetpacks and the parachutes don't attribute to the weight of the Kerbals. The Kerbals actually have a weight, and I think it's over 100. I'm gonna put the landing gear back out. What is happening? Okay. Well, there's that. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Nope, don't do a thing. Land nicely. Land very nicely. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how you're landed, but you are landed, so I'm not gonna question that. You're moving. Will this help line it up properly? proper. So it won't fall over. Alright. Yeah, so that's not even gonna do anything. Deploy parachute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wrong button. Be nice. So apparently I can just kind of... Here, let's focus the camera on that. So apparently I can just kind of sit on that engine just like that, at an angle, without falling over. I had to say something. I definitely had to say something. Now it's the RCS that's keeping that up. How much RCS do I have left? Definitely not enough to, not enough to leave it here until another mission comes. That's going down rather fast, so let's slowly lower it down to the ground. And let it rest. Come on. Okay, so apparently it's just stuck. Let's get this unstuck and very carefully lower it to the ground so it doesn't break. Okay, apparently it's just... I am confused as to how this is even sitting like this, but... So, up. And down. Up. Oh, too much up. Way too much up. So apparently we're just gonna sit just like that, and that's just okay somehow. I have no idea how that's even working. Is there a landing leg sitting anywhere? Shut down RCS, it just sits there. Okay. But somehow shutting down RCS is also continuing to burn my electric charge. So, oh, that's because SAS is on and the lights are on. Yeah, that rocket's doing some things right now. Not entirely sure what exactly, but... it is somehow surviving. So we're gonna leave it at that. And I guess that will set us up for a 4th rescue mission, I believe it is. Yeah, 4th. So, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, join me on Discord, and you'll be able to hang out and even be part of videos if you want. I'm always looking for people to do some videos with. I guess we're going to do another rescue mission for the rescue mission That was sent for the rescue mission. That was also sent for the rescue mission. That was sent to rescue Jeb's crew. So, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.